He's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 12 yards to pick up. Good enough for an Arizona first.
First play of the drive, a first down run. Well, that sets you up for whichever way you want to go. Do you come right back and run the football again because you've got them on their heels? Or do you play chess match with them, break tendency, and go play action and go for the big shot?
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. The first-round pick, Jair Alexander, making the tackle.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Second down, Murray sets to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. The pass complete. It's Bird. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 15 yards that time, and the Cardinals move the chains.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Murray into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Andy Isabella was the intended target. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
43's the mic. Rip right.
After the interception, here's Watson. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Washington. DJ Chark with touchdown number 12 on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better too.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Kill.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray. That ball complete to Isabella. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. You know, he's already thrown for more yardage in this first quarter than he did all of last week.
And I could be snarky here and say, well, he didn't throw for a lot of yards last week, but the bottom line is he put in a great week of practice and really came out ready to go in this one.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player as well as a physical specimen.
4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for 1st.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Again, they'll throw with Murray. This one caught by Isabella. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
A good starting spot for the Redskins as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40.
Even. 4 down. Even. I go 81. Mike's 43.
Watson off play action. He's going to fire one deep over into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick, and they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Now, they told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Murray nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Montez Sweat in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year.
56 to Mike, boy. 56. Check 56. Got it. Game situation. Let's go. 56 to Mike. 56 is to Mike. Come on.
On 3rd down, Murray. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Troy Apke. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Andy Isabella was the intended target.
Check, 43.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. Check the backer. Check the backer. 43's the mic. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And here we go again. Here we go again. '43's the mic.
Throwing again is Watson. That one's complete. He finds Sharp.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Hey, 31. Hey, 31. That's it. 43.
On first down, Watson. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Shotgun handoff down to Geis. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Throwing on third down, Watson.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On second down, Johnson. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
The Cardinals on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
56 the mic. 56 is the mic. Get in the right room. Get in the right room.
From the gun on third down, Murray. And able to find Kirk complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards that time, and the Cardinals move the chains.
Right there, 56. Target. Quick.
And That one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
56 to Mike, boy. 56. Check 56. Watch the slant. 56 to Mike. 56 is to Mike. I got you. I got you. Watch that. Switch.
On second and 11 now. Murray. Throw left side, completes Isabella. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Third down turns to first with that 5-yard pickup. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Big ass. You go tight.
Johnson. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. You run. Check safety. Yeah. Check.
From the 41, Murray. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. The Cardinals on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
54, right there. 54, Mike. Let's go, B. Big series right here. We got to step it up. Mike's 5'4".
From the gun, Murray. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. That goes for 14 yards. First down, Cardinals. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Everyone got 4 down.
Now Murray again, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. To throw on third down, Murray. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
43 in the Mike. Mike's 43. Mike's 43. We ain't giving up nothing today.
Now it's Watson. Able to find his running back, Geis. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Geis with a carry on 2nd down. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
3rd and 2, Watson. Open man is Higbee, the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. It's a 1st down following a gain of 3.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They can't hang with us. Check. 36. Fresno. Alert.
On 1st and 10, Watson gets it to Strong. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Here's Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? A shotgun snap for Watson. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, the Redskins will call on Tressway to punt it away. Back deep, Patrick Peterson. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
Mike 56. Mike 56. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there now. 56 to Mike.
Murray now on 1st down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's caught at the 25. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he He's stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Out of the gun, Geis. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on 3rd down.
Let's get it. 43's the mic.
From the gun, here's Watson. He'll get this to his speedster, Paul Richardson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 22. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Mike's 43. Mike's 43.
On the draw, they go to Geis. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
He's going to float this over the middle, deep. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Big yardage that time for the Redskins. 46 yards on the ground, Geis. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
43's the mic. 43's not today, you are. Not today. 43's the mic. Watch QB draw. Watch QB draw. Why? 24. Hey, 31.
Watson just beating the play clock. And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. DJ Chark, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Elliott good with a PAT. And that pushes the lead up to 11. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Let's go. At
their own 25-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing, and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Mike's 56. 56 to Mike, boy. 56. Go. Take me up.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's Deron Payne with a sack that time.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Throwing now is Murray. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
After the interception, here's Watson. To the right sideline, that's complete. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
43 is the mic. 43 is the mic. Good track, good track. That's it. 43 is the mic. I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming.
Out of the gun, Watson. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Tyler Higbee, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window? And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Quentin Dunbar with a pick, and he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Redskins touchdown. Elliott on for the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points.
Makes the score Redskins 31. Cardinals 6.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
They go to Johnson again. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 7 yards there and a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 12 yards the pickup. Good enough for an Arizona first. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
Check out. Slam. Go.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Murray from midfield. This one caught by Isabella. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 38-yard line.
A gain of 12. And the Cardinals.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Our time. It's our time.
The first down carry here for Johnson. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 36, Murray. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
54. Here we go.
Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And he'll take it all the way out near the 30-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And the drive begins with a run by Geis. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a 1st down for the Redskins on a pickup of 11. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off the game.
Steps away to his left. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. To throw is Watson. Throwing again. That's going to be caught by Richardson.
It's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 4.
The Redskins on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Watson now operating from the gun. Complete. Richardson has it. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Watson now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Here's a carry for a former starter. This is Lamar Miller. And he's got this down to the 35. It's a 1st down for the Redskins on a pickup of 11.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. On 1st down, this is Geis. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
You gonna see me in your nightmares, son.
Watson staying on his feet. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Chandler Jones make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal?
I'm here all day. 43 is the mic. 43 is the mic. Watch the curl. Watch the curl. Watch the curl. Hey, 59.
Back to throw, Watson. Buying time to his left. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
56 the mic.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A gain of 32 that time. Much more room to operate under after the big play. Here's 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Johnson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Check 56. I got one.
Now Murray throwing on 2nd down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Okay, partner, hyperbole alert, all right? I think that this has got to be the best game I've seen this secondary play this entire season. Doesn't matter whether they've been a man.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Perry comes flying in for the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Elsewhere, they're on to the 4th quarter at MetLife Stadium. And the Giants have taken the lead there late in that game. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
43 is the mic, boy. 43. Check. 43. 54. Switch up. 43 is the mic. 43.
Throwing now, Watson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's caught inside the 35. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Here's Andy Lee now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. This will be fielded at the 17. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
A nice run on 1st down gets him 6 yards to the 31. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. They'll run it again with Miller. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play. Redskins, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Redskins, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, the rough season continues as they plunge to 1-13. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home.